I ain't never missed my cue.
What's up, guys? Ryan Fitterman Sports. We're here with the Fitterman and Friends podcast. Today we have 90s basketball superstar Larry Johnson, the Grandmama, in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping by while you're in Houston. We appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
How are you these days?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. Just still involved with basketball up in New York, so having a good time with it. I don't do much.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. So I might be biased, but my favorite period of sports all time is 90s basketball. I truly think there's nothing in sports like 90s basketball. I can't even watch today's game today. You were so entertaining to watch back in your day. The number one pick in 1991, coming off of the championship in 1990 at UNLV. Is it true that my longtime client and friend Mike Tyson, did he come to a bunch of y'all's games?
Absolutely.
I mean, you guys were the kingpins of college basketball, UNLV in Vegas. You, Stacey Augmon, dominating the league. Did Mike come to a lot of your games?
Mike came to about 4 or 5 games. I think I remember Mike had practiced a couple of times. Most of the fighters, most of the entertainers, once they came through Vegas, they would come and sit on Gucci Row. We call our first row at Vegas Gucci Row.
Why?
Well, I think one of the alumni named it Gucci Row because she was a Gucci person.
Okay.
And she was a big alumni for the school, and she named the first row Gucci Row. So, entertainers that would come through, they would come through to the games. At that time, I was talking earlier, at that time, there was no pro sports in Nevada. Not just Las Vegas. There was no pro team in Nevada, in Las Vegas. It was the fighters, and it was the entertainers, and it was UNLV basketball.
So you guys in the 90s, I mean, y'all were mega stars. I mean, that was it. I mean, you come to Vegas, got the number one college basketball team in the country, exciting squad to watch. Like, people just had to be at your games.
Listen, we was trendsetters. We with the baggy shorts, and most of us played with T-shirts on under the jerseys, and a lot of us played with our jerseys out. You know, Coach Tarkanian didn't care how you look, as long as you got the job done.
As long as you played.
As long as you got the job done and played hard, you can wear your T-shirts inside out and everything you wanted. So, yeah, we was little trendsetters, and then after us came the Fab Five.
Yes, sir. That's incredible. So, 1991, you're the number one pick in the NBA draft. You got to be on top of the world. I remember watching you guys, the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, you were in the dunk contest. What do you think of the dunk contest now, and in comparison to when you were in what, 92?
92.
Okay.
Year.
So again, when I was a kid growing up, I mean, I used to record the All-Star Weekend on VHS. Saturdays the dunk contest. Like, I mean, this was the thing as a kid, the thing growing up. Now the dunk contest isn't the same. It's not as exciting. No disrespect to anybody, but you don't even have guys in the league that are winning it.
Right,
I mean,
right.
As someone who made the dunk contest what it was and to bring the excitement that you brought, what are your thoughts on it?
Everything changes. The league has come up with new rules. I mean, we got the in-season tournament now, which I'm for. I thought that the first year for that, I thought that came off well. But some of the changes I don't agree with. One of them is what we talking about here, the dunk contest. I think they need to go back to the old ways, get a guys 3 dunks after one another, after each other, and then get the judges to judge that way. I just think they kind of messed up the dunk. It's still talent. Like you said, the talent is still there. These guys still making some remarkable dunks, but the way it's being done now and guys out of the league winning it. But I guess you gotta, if you won it before, you gotta have a chance to repeat your victory. So no, I'm not for all these new rules.
Who was we asked this earlier today, and I thought your answer was extremely interesting. Who was the hardest player to guard or that guarded you back when you played in the 90s? Because I think, again, I'm a 90s basketball guy. That's it. That's my life in sports. That's what I grew up on. I don't think the game is anything like it was back in the 90s. I mean, you guys played ball. Y'all hit each other. You fouled each other. Who was the hardest person to play against or that defended you?
Well, again, that's a 2-part question.
Yes, sir.
Because as far as guarding, I don't think nobody in the league, I think every power forward would say we did not like Dennis Rodman guarding us. You know, the guy would make you look bad at how hard he played, and he was a big old guy, hard-nosed guy. And he's from South Dallas like myself, so I'm a little biased when it comes to it, but I don't think I scored 10 points on Dennis Rodman in the game to this day.
Yep.
And then Ben Wallace, who was at Detroit at the time, same exact type players, hard-nosed player, and plus they both was taller than I was. So they had the advantage on me, but I don't think I scored 10 points on those guys throughout my whole career. Now, me trying to guard somebody, Charles Barkley was just a guard I just hated. I mean, if I knew I was playing Barkley the next day, I was trying to get 10 hours of rest. You know what I'm saying? You just wasn't, you know, if you didn't come out there ready for that, Barkley would get 40 points on.
I think just the hard-nosed ball of the 90s is totally different than the game today. That's why I can't appreciate it as much. I know you've always been like a fan of Tyson. He's been a friend of yours for decades. I mean, what do you think? Tyson's coming back in the ring in July. He's fighting in Dallas. Obviously, Jake Paul's got a lot of crazy hype behind him. You know, I'm biased because Mike's a client and family friend of 12 years. I mean, you appreciate boxing back in its heyday as well. I mean, what are your thoughts on Tyson versus Jake Paul in Dallas?
In Dallas. Well, you know, that's changed too. So it's a lot going on with these changes. And now we have an internet but Jake Paul become real famous. YouTube star, becoming famous boxing. But he's not bad. But I don't believe he should be in the ring with a Mike Tyson. Of course, so. You know, you can knock out a basketball player or something like that. But in the ring with one of our former greats, I mean, and I'm hearing, I hope I'm not giving anything away, but I'm hearing it's going to be these big gloves, pillow gloves, and maybe headset.
That Jake Paul actually addressed the headgear issue, and he said it's false. That's not happening.
So it's not going to be headset.
No headgear.
Okay, well, that's better. That's better. Maybe you can feel a Mike Tyson punch now.
You think they can fill a 80,000 seat arena in Jerry's World?
I don't think so.
That's a lot of folks.
I don't think so. I thought Jerry would have to cut the arena down a little bit, maybe 50, 45. We still want to see Mike, and Jake has a great following, but 80, if they can get 80, why wouldn't you fight? I don't know. I heard millions of dollars, 20 and 25 millions of dollars. I would. I mean, and Mike looks in great shape. But we've been seeing him working out and seeing him at the fights. You know, it don't look like Mike. I mean, of course, he's in age, but he can still punch.
You think he could take him?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so.
I mean, look, if you get to round 5 or 6 or 7, then Jake Paul has an awesome chance because, you know, Mike's still pushing 60.
Yeah.
Right? But
if Mike catches him, that's it.
You can forget about it.
It's over.
Forget about it. I don't know if and Jake's smaller too. You know, Jake's not a 200-pounder, is he?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, and you take one of Mike Tyson's punches, you know, if he catch him in the first or second or third round, then it might be a quick fight.
So back in your day, you guys are the top of college basketball, going back to 89, 90 at UNLV. You guys were probably bigger superstars than some of the guys in the league. Okay, fast forward to where we're at 2024 with NIL. How would that have changed what you guys did, and if you guys could actually market yourselves and make money while you're in college, how do you think that would change now? And what do you think is changing now for the college kids that are getting paid millions prior to going to the league? I mean, you have women's college basketball players that are making more than the top WNBA stars. How do you think it would have been different 30 years later? Larry Johnson's being recruited and NIL deals are taking place. What do you think that would be like today?
In Las Vegas, right?
In Las Vegas.
The entertainment capital of Vegas. I mean, of United States. Listen, we get this question a lot. And even when we're talking about the changes in basketball, changes in the dunk contest, I never say, try not to say anything bad about the youngsters. You know, I thought we played, like you touched on, we played a more physical game. Wasn't no friends out there on the basketball court. We didn't hang out in the summertime or none of that. So, but I mean, if this the game today, because they still have talent, fine. But only thing I am bitter about and I am jealous about is the college NIL. I mean, come on, man. You know, if we got a dinner, we was putting on probation.
Yeah.
You know, if we got tickets to this, because being in Vegas, we love going to the shows. Oh, you got tickets to a fight, you're on probation.
You guys were stars, so they wanted you at the events also.
I agree.
Couldn't do anything.
You couldn't do anything. So with this new deal the college guys get, yeah, I'm a little jealous of those because the money we could have made or I could have made at UNLV. I mean, we was entertainers doing that. We just talked about fighters coming to our games, you know. So yeah, that the only thing I am a little bit about is that new deal. But I think college guys should get paid. I don't know if we should get millions or they should get millions, but I don't think they should want for a meal. Want to take their girlfriend out, these type of things. But, I don't know if it should be 10 to how many millions these guys
Yeah,
get.
it's a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry.
Right.
And for you guys to perform on the level you perform on, and I used to work for the basketball team at U of H, and it's like the guys would want for meals or want for new sneakers or just simply want a car to drive around, and they get in trouble. And it's like, man, how do you expect us to be productive students when we can't eat and we can't get around, but we're selling out the stadium? So I agree with you 100%. The college kids should be compensated for what they do, but I do think it got out of hand kind of quickly. So as a kid growing up in the 90s, how did you get the Grandmama nickname? Like, that stuck with you 30 years later. I mean, that's what all of us in our age bracket know you as. We remember the Converse commercials. How did that start? Where did that come from?
It was a Converse. The Converse came to me. I was coming out of UNLV. We spoke on it. UNLV was always a Nike school. Coach Talk, and we was always sponsored by Nike, which I thought I was going to be a Nike #1 pick. I thought I was going to be a Nike guy. Sonny Vaccaro, who did the movie out. What is it? Yes.
Story of Sonny.
Sonny, yeah. So Sonny was our rep at UNLV. So I was calling Sonny like months after I got drafted. And I'm like, Sonny, what's up on my contract? Sonny, what's up on my contract? And #2 was Kenny Anderson, #2 draft. He had signed the contract. Billy Owens was 3. He had signed the contract. Stacy was 9. He had done signed his Nike contract, but I hadn't signed my contract.
Yeah. What's going on?
Sonny, what's going on? And Sonny, after about a month of me bothering Sonny, he just came out and said, Larry, they don't think you're going to be a good pro.
Wow.
Yeah, Sonny. And he was hurt. I think Sonny voice was cracking on the phone. He was like, I don't think, he said, Nike don't want to sign you because they don't think you're going to be a good pro. So the next day, me and my agent went down to Connecticut, I think it was, to Converse.
Okay.
And Converse goes, man, we want you. It's you our first kid. We want you and all that. And they said, not only do we want you, we want to put you in a commercial your rookie year. I said, oh, now we talking. And check this out. The commercial was, I was laying on a gurney. I'm covered up. You can't see me. And these 2 doctors is operating on me. One doctor is Magic Johnson. The other doctor is Larry Bird, who was in Converse at the time. So they the 2 doctors that's operating on this guy, and they go scalpel or whatever it is. And after about 15 seconds, they go, we're finished. The perfect basketball player. And then they go, well, if he's the perfect basketball player, we have to name him. And Larry go, well, if we got to name him, his name got to be Larry. Then Magic go, no, Johnson, Larry Johnson, Larry Johnson. And I raise up. I never say anything. I just raise up and the commercial goes off. I said, give me the money, give me the pen, let's sign. I sign on the dotted line. Everything is fine. I start the season, my rookie year. I'm calling Converse. I'm like, what's up on that commercial? What's up on that commercial? They say, we're going to do the commercial in about a month. I come, I get in the lock, I get into my studio and all that, and I see this dress hanging up. I see wigs hanging up. I'm like, who's wearing that, Larry or Magic? Who's wearing that? They say, no, we ain't doing that commercial. We doing this one where you going to be Grandmama. I custom.
Oh, my God.
I said, what the? I custom out. I use all type of 4-letter words. And they said, the story goes, Converse goes that, and I hope I'm not telling anything, but one of the guys did not want to do the commercial. Okay. One of the guys wasn't with the commercial, so they came up with this Grandmama thing. And at the time, Converse wasn't like, other than Larry and Magic, which is the big they had, but Converse wasn't a big deal, like really in the NBA.
Well, that's what I was going to say a second ago. To have the #1 pick in the draft, I mean, don't sell yourself short, but that's huge for Converse in the 90s.
No, I'm not going to sell myself
that's
short.
That's huge.
I'm not selling myself short, but I'm just, before me. It was Larry and Magic who was, kept the league going before the Michael Jordan era and all that. So,
when Nike's at its peak, for Converse to get the #1 pick in the NBA draft, that's a huge deal.
Well, they got the #1 pick because Nike didn't want me. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, and
Everything
again,
happens for a reason.
everything happens for a reason, because I enjoyed doing it after the beginning of the letdown of not doing the commercial with those guys. After a year or two, and then the feedback I was getting, everybody, oh man, that's a great commercial. I got little old ladies coming up to me who don't know nothing about basketball, and they would go, "Yeah, baby, I heard you play basketball. I play a little basketball," and they know nothing about being the #1 pick and all that. I said, "No, I wore a dress, and I remember that." I like, yeah, that was
And
me.
the shoes were pretty fire too, and they brought them back recently. I mean,
well, I thought the shoe was better with jeans instead of playing basketball. There, it was better to walk around in. But I enjoyed doing it.
so last question of the day. You're on top of the world. You were the #1 pick in the NBA draft. This is millions and millions of kids' dreams. You're now in the executive seat with the New York Knicks. You're still doing extremely well with basketball after you retired. So both perspectives here. If you're the top athlete in the world, or you're going to be an executive or an entrepreneur, what's the one advice that you would give to kids or business folks, the younger generation coming up? What is your one piece of advice or suggestion for people who are striving to be successful in either platform, sports or business, in today's life?
Well, again, that's a tough question, because if you're going with one piece of advice, I've always done well by staying humble, not thinking you're bigger than you are or lesser than you are, and not thinking you're bigger than someone else. So just staying humble, and I always try to keep good people around you to keep you grounded. You hear the phrase all the time, "He got the big head," or "He's changed." You never want to be that person, because that can always come back and bite you. So if you can just stay humble and keep good people around you and just stay grounded, never forget where you come from, then you will be successful.
I think that's incredible advice. You are who you surround yourself
Exactly.
with. I think staying humble is a huge key. And when you are on top of the world, I mean, if anyone could take advice, it's like you are the #1 star in college basketball, the #1 pick in the league. 30 years later, people are still buying your sneakers, asking for your autographs, want your jersey signed. So staying humble. You are a very classy individual. It's been incredible having the opportunity to work with you. Again, Larry Johnson, Charlotte Hornets, now with the New York Knicks. Guys, we're excited to have him on the show. We appreciate another Texas guy coming on Texas Guy Show. So thank you for everything.
Thank
Today
you,
was a lot
Ramon. I
of fun.
appreciate it. Thank
It
you.
was an absolute joy to work with you and to visit with you for a few moments. So thank you for the opportunity you've given us, and we hope to do more deals with you soon.
Absolutely.
We
I
appreciate
appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate everything.
No problem.